Hi, class. These are the key terms for social social process theory. Social process theory, which is a key term, is the view that criminality is a function of people's interactions with various organizations, institutions, and processes in society. So the last three chapters, we've looked at social structures, we've looked at traits, we've looked at rational thought. Now we're looking at social process as a possible cause of criminality. One thing they mention just at the top is about parental efficacy, which is good parenting. Parental efficacy lowers the risk of delinquency for children living in high crime areas. By contrast, kids who grow up in homes where parents use overly strict discipline, oddly enough, become prone to antisocial behavior. The more a child is physically disciplined and the harsher the discipline, the more likely that he or she will engage in social behavior and later criminal activity. So that old expression, spare the rod and spoil the child, I think it's more like spare the rod and you won't create a criminal. But don't quote me on that. The book also mentions racial profiling, which has a significant sort of sensibility. Let me just tell you what it's defined as. It's the use of racial and ethnic characteristics by police in their determining whether a person is likely to commit a crime or engage in deviant or antisocial behavior. Racial profiling, as the textbook documents, is found in every step of the criminal justice system. But what's interesting about this, and let's go to schools, kids that bond strongly to education and their schools and the educational experience tend to avoid criminal behavior. So schools, according to the textbook, contribute to criminality when they label problem youths and set them apart from conventional society. The United States Department of Education, and here's where the word minority becomes a key term, found that minority students, especially boys, face much harsher discipline in public schools than any other students. That is, for the same problems. African American students are 3.5 times more likely to be suspended or expelled than white students. And then it follows that youth who are suspended or expelled from school are the ones most likely to have problems over the life course, including criminal involvement. So racial profiling is a term defined by police use, but there is some profiling going on in the school system that negatively impacts minority students, and I just wanted you to know that, which you may already know, of course, but this is just for a quiz. So social learning theory is one of the social process theories. Social learning theory suggests that criminal behavior is learned. People learn techniques and attitudes of crime from close relationships with criminal peers. That's a theory about how criminals evolve. The most significant model, known as differential association theory, new key term, was formulated by Edwin Sutherland. If you took my 101 class, we talked about Sutherland. This theory holds that criminality is a result of associating with deviant peers, that people commit crime when their social learning leads them to perceive more definitions favoring crime than favoring conventional behavior. You know, there's some problems with differential association theory. The book points them out. 70% of all arrestees are under the influence of drugs and alcohol when they commit their crimes. That's not about learning, really. That's about drugs and alcohol. And it also doesn't account for crimes that are impulse-driven or spontaneous crimes. Neutralization theory was formulated by Gresham Sykes and David Matza. It stresses that youths learn mental techniques that enable them to overcome societal values and hence break the law. This is another social learning theory. Differential association was one. Neutralization is another I'd like you to know. So youths learn mental techniques that enable them to overcome societal values and break the law. They deny responsibility. Oh, it's not my fault. They deny the injury. Oh, it's just a prank. They deny the victim. Oh, they had it coming. They condemn the condemners. Oh, the police and the judges, they're all corrupt. They appeal to higher loyalties. Oh, I'm just doing it because I'm loyal to my gang, my peer group. So neutralization theory talks about the ways youth rationalize overcoming societal values and breaking the law. In contrast, social control theory, let me type in the word theory, maintains that all people have the potential to become criminals, but their bonds to conventional society prevent them from violating the law. Crime occurs when the forces that bind people to society are weakened or broken. Travis Herschel elaborated on this. He described the social bond as containing elements of attachment, belief, it could be a religious bond, commitment to loved ones or peers, and involvement. Involvement in your community creates the social bond. Weakened bonds allow youth to behave antisocially, but with the bonds, according to Herschel, those strong bonds will keep them from, breaking laws. So social reaction or labeling theory is Howard Becker's idea that people become criminals when significant members of society label them as such, and they accept the labels as a personal identity. So criminality is promoted by becoming negatively labeled by significant others. Labels such as a criminal or an ex-con or a junkie isolate people from society and lock them into lives of crime. I don't have time to get into stigmatizing people, which is related to labeling, and programs that have come up as a result of these theories, the diversion programs where people don't go to jail, and they do other kinds of training, therapy, re-education, and restitution programs where people who commit crimes make amends to the people who they have harmed. Those three things will not be on a quiz. Thank you, class, and I'll see you in class. Bye.